what's happening, gamers? It's Amber here with Kwingsletsplays. Hope everyone's day is going fantastic today. I don't know, I just got a comment from my husband on the chat. I don't know what that's all about. I guess halfway through the stream I'll have to ask him what he's meaning. But for now, we'll just continue as usual. As far as I know, we're starting at 6:30. I don't know why we would start later. I think we'd actually lose views from the channel if we would start at 7. I was actually planning on starting at 6:15 for the next stream, so I don't really know what that would mean. Okay, so, hope everyone's day is going good, and we are going to be checking out the, whatever we can from the DLC that comes out today. If I'm able to get a little, like, reward online, if I'm able to get anything. So if you guys bought all of the DLC, as far as I can tell, if you bought all of the DLC, then you should be able to go, I believe you have to go back to, the place where you met Kieran and Carmine, and you have to go there and you have to look for a Pokemon and battle it, and that starts off your new DLC. You also have to get a gift. But unfortunately, you have to actually have played through all of the Teal Mask, all of the Blueberry Academy, all of the Indigo Disc, and all of the Paldea. So, and you have to play through all of the Area 0, so that you have so far. So the new DLC is called, Okay, so it's called Epilogue for the Hidden Treasure of Area 0. So basically, the reason why I'm playing this game today, even though I don't have the ability to actually do the DLC at this moment, is because Pokemon is going to be in the algorithm because everyone else is doing the DLC. So it's like, well, I might as well hop on that board when I, can do it. So I really have been, like, Pokemon'd out, guys and gals, like, I've just been doing Pokemon Tera Raid after Tera Raid, and I really needed a break from that, so that's kind of why I did the Dreamlight Valley for a little bit. So, yeah. So, I'm going to try to figure out where we would conceivably go if we had the DLC. So I believe you're supposed to go back to this area here, Kitakami. I'm not sure, actually. I don't really know. But we're just going to explore. I'm going to go back. So here is Community Center. So I believe you're supposed to go here. And you're also supposed to look for a free gift. So we're going to see if we can find the free gift. So if you guys have already bought the DLC, that includes the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc, then you should be able to, as long as you beat everything, and you beat Drayton, and you beat Kieran, you should be able to do the DLC. Now, supposedly, from what I saw on the internet, the DLC character that you're going to fight is somewhere, I believe it's around here. Don't quote me on this. I might be wrong about this. I don't know. We're just going to talk to this person. Okay. Alright. So, yeah. So I think it's around here, this area, because I saw someone with a picture of the DLC, and I believe you're supposed to go in this area. Alright, so anyways, there's a Pokemon you're supposed to fight, and that will kind of unlock the DLC for you. Let's see here. Let's see if I can give you guys an idea of it. Okay. Alright, so basically, I'll just give you guys a run around, just in case anyone is looking to my thing. Okay, January 11th, there's going to be an epilogue. It brings friends from Paldea into the land of Kitakami, so we are in the right area. This is where you would go for the DLC. Let's see. So, that brings friends from Paldea into the land of Kitakami. For the looks of things, it will include. It's supposed to include Penny, Nimona, Arvin, and mystery. Okay, and it's supposed to be about mystery behind Pecha, a mythical Pokemon. Alright. And you're also gonna have to fight some kind of Pokemon, and I forgot what that's called, but yeah, so it's called the epilogue. Let's see. So yeah. Where was I? Well, anyway, you guys know what it's called because you guys are playing it right now. So, yep. So basically, epilogue for the hidden treasure of Area 0. So that's what we'll be working towards eventually. Is anyone? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I haven't spoiled anything. I'm just reading on the internet how to do the DLC. I don't think I have spoiled anything. I couldn't spoil it if I wanted to. I haven't played it. Okay, so... Alright, so basically, I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, you're gonna go back to this region. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just telling you guys what I looked up today. About how to do the DLC. From what I remember, you had to come here and you're supposed to fight some kind of Pokemon that's going to be here. That's not a spoiler. I'm just explaining how to unlock the DLC, which is not a spoiler. That would just be a normal thing to explain how to unlock it. Alright, so we're actually going to try to go online. Alright, so I'm gonna go online and we're gonna see if there's anything that I can collect. So it has that little, actually, let's try disconnecting right now, and I'll connect again so we can see, let's see. Oh, okay, it's not gonna take me there, darn it. Okay. So let's go to the Poke Portal and see what we've got here. Mystery gift. So maybe there's going to be a new mystery gift. Let's try get via internet and let's see what happens. Alright, so mythical Pika Berry gift. So this is actually what you're looking for. This is part of the new DLC, which shows that I didn't need to, pay for anything again. I already paid for it once. And this is the new DLC is unlocked today. So this mythical Pika Berry gift is unlocked today. So if you guys have the game, you guys can just go to online and go to mystery gift and go to via the internet. Okay guys, so let's check it out and let's see what this is. So this is completely... Alright, you got a... I might as well just get this as well on here. Alright. Okay, alright, so we got the mystery Pika Berry gift. I don't really know if it's in our bag or what's going on with it. Alright, so I'm just gonna save. And supposedly, if you have the mystery Pika Berry gift, you're supposed to go in this area, and a Pokemon is supposed to appear here. It's supposed to appear like right here, and you're supposed to fight it with like internet suggests you're at least level 80 for some of your Pokemon. So, or for most of them. So, alright, so it looks like we don't really have any ability to do the DLC, like I said, because I'm still doing a lot of Tera Raids and stuff like that. So we'll be upgrading our Pokemon and doing some online Tera Raids today. I hope you guys are having a great day today. So that basically explains, how the DLC works, and I would basically, like, I'm giving you guys like a runaround for what I'm pretty sure it is, but I would just check out like a website like Games Radar or IGN or Nintendo Life or something if you guys want to get more information about that. Alright, so looks like this is a steel type. We can when will I play Drayton? When I have enough power and the ability to do it. I'm not as soon as I have the ability to play him, I will. But I'm covering several other games as well, so it's gonna be a while. I will do Drayton when I do Drayton. When you see him on the thumbnail, probably is when I'll be playing him. Okay. Yep, I know some of you guys are already playing the DLC. I'm very aware of that. But, there are a lot of people that got this game later, and, people randomly off the internet. And if nobody else wants to do Tera Raids, you guys can just have a chill stream watching me do them on my own, which is completely fine. So, good to see you guys in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well. Hi, Tom. Hi, Brandon. Hi, Dylan. Hi, William. Hi, Rudy, the Shiny Heart Hunter. Hi, Geo the Hero. Hello, Sharon. Hi, Ninetales. Oh, you just started the Teal Mask DLC. Okay, cool, Ninetales. Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, I was really hoping I could start it, like, without actually finishing the rest of the Blueberry Academy, but I didn't realize that. No, I mean, a lot of people were telling me, like, oh, you really need to finish it, and I thought, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I can start it without it, but that's alright. I was really Pokemon'd out. We were doing Pokemon, like, every day. Alright, guys and gals, so right now I'm just trying to look up my little Pokemon chart here, so I can just make sure I can get all these Tera Raids in. Okay. Alright. Thanks guys for the 45 likes. Let's keep the likes going because, like Luke said, the channel is hurting today. So if you guys could keep liking, let's shoot for 50 likes next. Thanks everyone. Alright. I'm just trying to find my chart here so I can do it, because I haven't done Pokemon in a while. Well, looks like my Pokemon chart is gone. I don't know. type. Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, got it. Okay, so we're on steel type. And looks like we need fighting, fire, and ground. Because we already did steel recently. So, if we can get a fire, fighting, or ground type. Okay, guys. I think I am connected to the internet. Okay, there we go. Alright guys. Hi Rudy, how's it going? Great to see you. Alright guys, so we're doing a steel Tera Raid if anyone wants to join. We're doing fire, fighting, and ground. Fire, fighting, or ground types. Well, I might as well just go with Mewtwo, that's fine. Because I don't, Alright, we've got Isaac and Omar. Awesome. Don't blame me for being burned out on Pokemon. Thank you, Ninetales. I appreciate that. It's a lot. Well, I also don't have a lot of time to grind off camera. Like, if I'm not streaming, I'm either going grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning my house, organizing, taking care of my cats, getting cat food, taking my cats to the vet, you know, so like getting gas in the car, paying bills. Today I really needed to sign up for my health insurance, but I didn't get a chance to do that. I actually tried to get a pizza today, but I don't know, for one reason my card wasn't working, so I had to come home and then make like baked potatoes, which are baking right now. I'm going to check on them in a half an hour, and basically you know, I don't know. I guess Luke wants to move the streams to 7. I don't know. Alright, guys. I guess we're going to start with this team. So we got Omar, Isaac, and me. Which I really think he should move the stream to 6 because, you know, like, I don't know if he's not feeling well, if that's the reason he wants to move the stream to 7, but my streams don't bring in as many people as his, so if he wants more views on the channel, he should really stream at 6 o'clock. I don't think that's going to be a good idea to, if the channel is already in bad shape, then he'll actually lose even more views by moving it another hour. I don't understand the logic. But, like, you know, we're a team, so, you know, we both make decisions that the other person disagrees with, which is fine. Like, you know, I think that happens with every job. Like, a lot of, and that's what makes the channel more interesting, honestly. Like, if we were just clones of ourselves, then it wouldn't be as interesting. It's good that we have different, you know, take on different things and a different way of looking at, like, we like different types of games. So I think that's probably fine. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, where is the bacon? So I was very tired a couple days ago, like extremely tired. When I am extremely tired, I am literally not myself. And I was just looking for this bacon I had just made. Because I was supposed to make this salad for Luke, and like the bacon completely disappeared. I did find the bacon. It was in the back of the fridge. Somehow it was behind the eggs. I don't know why people were asking me if I found it. So anyways, yeah, I'm making a lot of, I meant to make like some spaghetti today so I would have it like all week. But then I thought, I had the genius idea of like, I'm gonna make rice instead because, you know, that will be easier to make. I can make it in a pan. I don't really have any pots left. I have to clean a lot of pots. Well, not a lot, but I made soup. And when I make split pea soup, I have to make it in 2 different pots. Like, I have to make the peas in one pot and the rest of the soup in the other, and then I combine them because I don't have a big enough pot to make split pea soup because it takes a while to boil the split peas. Anyways, so I didn't have any pots left, really. So I made rice, and then lo and behold, one of my packets of Uncle Ben's rice, like 3/4 of it spilled all over the floor. And I had to sweep it up. So I don't know. Today is just one of those days that I really wanted to go to the park and get some things done, but then, you know, like I didn't, because I was basically sharing that video all day this morning. So I hope you guys like the video that went up. It was kind of an interesting thing about the Switch, possibility of the Switch 2 happening because of some games that they're discontinuing in retailers, or I guess they're called delisting them. So if you guys you know, get a chance, definitely check the video out. It's only like 10 to 15 minutes long. Okay, thank you for helping me out, Omerald, and also, Isaac. Really appreciate that, guys. So, if you guys are wondering, Luke thought it was a poster of a baseball player I put in the thumbnail, because I was kind of like spending time redoing that thumbnail. And, I put a poster of a cat. It says, believe. Because I was trying to make it like a corporate office, like, and you would have like posters on the wall. So I put like a Switch 2 poster, and then I put like a Believe poster with the cat. So yeah, I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool, but I don't know. I showed Luke the thumbnail, and he was like, "Is that a baseball player?" And I was like, "No, that's a cat saying Believe." So he didn't even get what I did with the thumbnail at all. But it happened. No, I'm not making much progress every stream. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to spend time with my viewers and just hang out. I'm not attempting to make a lot of progress every stream. If I was trying to make a lot of progress every stream, I would be, also, if I was going to make a ton of progress every stream, I wouldn't do any trades on any stream. I wouldn't do any Tera Raids with people. You guys would just see me sitting here talking to you, and I wouldn't do any online interaction with you guys. I would just sit here and talk, and I would just level up the characters I want to level up. Because you guys traded me certain characters that you really liked, then I had to sometimes take time and level those characters up. I also had to, you know, certain people had certain requests for what they wanted me to do. Different types of characters, like, can you get this character, you know, that I traded you a long time ago, and level that up. So because of that, you know, it took me a lot longer, but I had, you know, this stream isn't about really, if I wanted to just go through the DLC really fast, I would just do uploaded episodes of it, and I wouldn't do any streams online. These are Tera Raid streams online, which means I'm just going through and hanging out with my audience, and we're getting through the DLC when we get through it. It's probably going to take 5, 10, 20 times longer than everyone else, but I'm doing a ton of other games at the same time. My main focus is Batman games right now, and my main focus is just, I'm literally not going through this, you know, if I was going to go through the DLC really fast, I actually, a few times, I've gone through on my own and done Tera Raids off camera, and I get through them a lot faster. This is a nice stream that people can just chill and hang out in the chat, and I'm just kind of, you know, strolling around and showing off. I'm showing off the DLC, I'm showing what the area looks like. You know, years from now, it'll be kind of nice to look back and see what this DLC looked like, what the whole area of the Blueberry Academy looked like. Stuff like that. So, you know, of course I'm going to go through it and take my time. So yeah. If I wanted to go through it fast, I just wouldn't go online at all, and I wouldn't do anything online with people at all. I would just do it on my own. So, but that's not the purpose of the channel. The channel isn't about getting through it fast. This channel has never been that. Alright, great to see you. Thank you, Ninetales. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, if I wanted to do, you know, if I wanted to go through it fast, I wouldn't do Tera Raids online with people at all. I would just probably, if I wanted to go through it quickly, I would just wait until I had a huge chunk of time, and then I would probably, you know, just sit there all night and, you know, grind a bunch of characters. And you guys would ask, like, oh, can you have this character in the party? Can you have this one? Can you have this one? And I'd be like, sorry, I already did everything off camera. I already grinded everything off camera. And, you know, like, I can't have any requests because I'm not doing it with my audience. But that's not how I'm doing it. I'm doing it online with my audience, and I'm trying to interact with my viewers. So that's how I'm always doing this. So yeah. All right. Today we will be just doing Tera Raids, and that's pretty much it. We're just gonna, you know, I honestly, if I could, the thing is, like, every time I'm traded new Pokemon and, like, you know, like that, like, a lot, like, some of you guys, like, if it's already level 100, then that really helps me out a lot, because then I don't have to go through myself for hours on end and level it up, which I have no problem doing. But you guys have to understand that, you know, if I'm given a level 50 Pokemon, and I'm given several of those, and I have to, you know, and I have to level each one of them up, and, you know, like, I may have already a fairy type that I have leveled really high from a previous thing, you know, I'm going to, it's going to take a while to do that. Alright. Alright, so we've got... Yeah, I think people forget this is a channel in which we do many different games. Many different types of games. Right now we're mainly focusing on Arkham, and Luke didn't have time to actually do this DLC, so I'm going through it. But, you know, I'm gonna go through it at my own pace, which, you know, is gonna be my own pace, whatever that is. Alright. So we're going... Alright, so this is a mud. And honestly, I don't have any problem going through it slowly. Because the slower I go through it, the more time I get to spend with people, the more interactions I get to make with people. I'm really just slowly going through this story. If there was going to be a progression of the story made on this episode, then you guys would see a character that I'm battling. There's no character. I just showed off the special prize that I got, and that's what I did today. So, you know. Alright. Water, grass, and ice type. Okay, so we're gonna try this ground one if we can. Let's see. Alright, if anyone wants to join, feel free to come on in. Thank you, Big Nate. I appreciate that. Thank you. Alright, if anyone wants to join, come on in, and we need, water, grass, and ice type. So, I guess I'm just gonna stick with Mewtwo. So, if anyone wants to join, come on in. Great to see you, Nate. Hope you're having a great day, and thanks so much for coming by. Appreciate that, thank you so much, Ninetales and Big Nate. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Alright. Alright, guys, we've got Isaac and Corey and Emerald. Alright, I'm ready to go. I'm just gonna stick with, Mewtwo. Actually, I think 2 episodes ago, though, we did literally 2 episodes ago we did the entire Drayton I think he has his like pre-battle, so I mean, we're not doing an episode every day, and I'm not doing several streams a day. You have to realize that. You know, I'm doing an episode once every several days. So, you know, compared to, I mean, we are making progress every day. We're getting a lot of stuff done. We're trading a lot of Pokemon. We're interacting with a lot of people. We're finding a lot of new Pokemon. So we're literally doing things every single day. Okay. So basically, like, a lot of people, like, when we busted through the story really fast, like in Paldea or whatever, a lot of people were like, hey, you know, you didn't do a lot of online Tera Raids. I mean, we got that last time with Pokemon Arceus, and even the one before that, Sword and Shield. So, you know, I'm doing exactly what people asked me to do last time, which is do more online battles, and at the same time, you know, I don't have as much time anymore because I'm doing this all on my own. You know, I don't have two of us working on this. So, you know, it's just basically I'm just kind of casually doing online battles with people, and we have to level up our characters to a certain level. Once we level them up to that level, then we can definitely you know, we can fight Drayton, and then we'll probably, you know, do a few more Tera Raid streams, and then we'll fight, Kieran. Okay, so, would you like to give Charbug a name? No. So, like, in about 20 minutes, I'm probably gonna have to, check on my potatoes, because I've got baked potatoes going on. So, let me know what you guys think of the DLC. Those of you guys who have it, let me know. And I believe there's actually, there is, like, I believe there is an update for Disney Dreamlight Valley today also. Well, I mean, on the other hand, like, if you guys do like getting through the story faster, then you guys might want to, like, tell Luke and just be like, hey, Luke, next time can you please do you guys can request, you know, Luke to do it, because he goes through a lot faster. So you guys can definitely let him know, like, hey, I really liked how you did it better, where you got through it faster. Like, Amber kind of just goes through it at her own pace, and I'm not a fan of that. So, you know, definitely leave a comment like that so that Luke can know that people really like the way he does it then. I bet he would really appreciate that, actually. Oh, such a cute little wolfie. Alright, hi Sharon, hello Julie, hi Francisco, hi King J Dog, hi everyone. Hi, Link. Alright, guys. Thanks for doing the Tera Raids with me, guys. I'm gonna try another one. If I get a chance to get there. Yeah, I mean, I've been on YouTube a long time, and one thing I find is, like, no matter what I do, people kind of, like me to do it a different way, and they're, you know, kind of frustrated, like, oh, I don't really like how you're doing it. I noticed even 11 years ago when we did Lego Batman, 2, we had so many comments, like, so many comments that they wanted us to... Basically, people were really upset that they didn't get to see, like, I think it was, like, dynamic split screen, or maybe it was just regular split screen. But basically, the problem with this split screen in that game was that, you know, it just made the game look really bad. Like, you could only see a very small version of everything going on. You couldn't see it very well. It just didn't look good. So... You know, Luke and I just didn't, even though that game had 2-player and everyone was super upset with us that we didn't show off the 2-player of that game. I think we may have showed it off later, like for one episode or something. But we didn't show off the 2-player because, you know, it just didn't look good. Like, it didn't look good on screen, so we just didn't do it. So, no matter how you do stuff, people are always gonna kind of want you to do it differently, but, you know, this is how I do it. You know, I'm having fun hanging out with people. It's, you know, I stream this every couple of days, and, you know, I can only do what I can do, because if I had about 6 hours to, like, just play the game through and get a bunch of experience candy myself, I would do that, but I have, like today, I have to sign up for my health insurance. I had to go out get gas. Tomorrow I have to go get cat food. The more and more that my husband works and does like all these videos and works overnight, I have to kind of do everything else. So, you know, there's nobody else here, and that's the, you know, I'm the only person here doing everything, so. Alright, we're gonna go, I'm gonna keep my current Pokemon, I guess. I think, like, every time I do a lot of online battles, I think, like, last time we did a Pokemon thing like this, we got the same thing, like, oh my gosh, you're spending so long doing it. And then when we were done doing it, people were like, oh my gosh, you're done with it? Aren't you gonna do any extra stuff? And we were like, no, because we already played a lot online with people. We did, like, a ton of online stuff with people. And then people were like, I didn't get a chance to play with you the whole time. I was just, you know, going through the story on my own. I didn't play with you. So a lot of times, like, I have gotten that from other Pokemon games where people say, you know, like, oh, you're spending so much time on online battles, you know, and then when we're done, people are really upset because they didn't get a chance to get in any. So I'm just giving people a chance to get in them, and at the same time, you know, it is helping me get through here. So I appreciate you guys helping me with that. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna try this rock battle. If anyone wants to join. Alright, okay guys. Okay guys, if anyone wants to join, come on in. Hi Sharon, hi Batman01. Appreciate that, Batman, thank you. Hi Riley. Hi Julia, hello everyone. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Hello, Macho. Hi, Gio. Hi, everyone. Okay, so we've got... Okay, so we can do fighting, ground, steel, water, grass. I guess I'm just gonna go with you two. Hi, Ninetails. Hi, Nate. That's why I do not rush in games. I take my time playing the game. Yeah, definitely, Nate. I mean, if Luke was playing this, he would probably feel stressed and he would probably be like, I need to get through this. Like, this is my personality. Like, a lot of people... This is why a lot of times when people are like, let Amber play, let Amber play, let Amber play, like, people get frustrated with how Luke plays the game. And they're like, if only Amber was playing this, it would be better. But people don't realize that my version of playing through the game is probably not what people are thinking. I go through it slowly. I don't know exactly what I'm doing all the time. I take the time to look it up. And I try to, do every part of the game. I kind of like, maybe, hang out in one area for too long or whatever and take my time. And people really don't like that. People really don't like that. So, for me, I realize that people don't like the way I play through the game. I know that. I'm very aware of that. But yet, I still have to cover the game. So, I'm just gonna not worry about it. Just do it my own pace and I don't think I'm hurting anyone by getting through the game more slowly. I don't think it's gonna hurt anyone if it's gonna take me a few more weeks. Because it's, the DLC is out today. I'm guessing we'll probably start the DLC for that came out today, maybe in a week and a half or something. But, it's different than, like, a lot of times, like, I do it very, like, I plod along, like I'm a long-necked dinosaur or something like that. I just go every day, just do a little bit. And that's how I do my life, too. That's how I do everything in my life, because I have seen Luke before, like, he has, the chat has gotten, like, really like, hey, how come you haven't done this? This YouTuber has done this first. This YouTuber has already done this. And kind of like, stressing him out, where he's just like, oh my gosh, like, every other YouTuber is already through this, and I'm already covering 7 other games. How am I gonna get past this? And then he kind of like makes himself sick by staying up all night and grinding. And I don't do that. I can't do that. I have to go to the park. I have to relax. I have to get, like, I have to eat, like, healthy food. I cannot, like, kill myself over a game. Like, I cannot force myself to, a lot of YouTubers have other people that are literally grinding. They give their save file to other people that grind their game for them, and this is a true fact. And then, they just kind of get handed the game save file and stuff. So I'm not really concerned with how fast everyone is doing it. And then what happens is a lot of times, like, Luke will get super stressed out because everyone's giving him a hard time and telling him he's not as fast as these other YouTubers that are literally have other people helping them behind the scenes, and all this. Then he kind of like gives up on it. He'll be like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the next Pokemon game. Whereas me, I take the opposite approach. I just take my sweet time with it. I just take my sweet time because I know no matter how fast I go through this DLC, it will literally not be fast enough for people. It will not be good enough no matter how I beat the boss. It will not be good enough for anyone. I'm not an expert Pokemon channel. I'm just kind of casually, my goal in these streams is I can hang out with people online for a few minutes a day. I can meet a new person that likes Pokemon. They can play in one Tera Raid with me and then have a nice day. Maybe they'll come by in a few weeks and watch another video. And that's really my only goal. And I can get to hang out with the people that are playing with me today. Like today, looks like I'm playing with Omerald and Isaac. On other days, I was playing with Ninetales and Rudy and Gio and Tom, and other people. So, like, every day is different for me. Like, whoever really wants to play with me that day, that's who I'm playing with. I'm gonna guess in 2 or 3 streams, I am probably going to be able to fight Drayton, and then beat him, and then we can easily, you know, pretty soon. I mean, I have a lot of Pokemon that are high level, so it's possible once I beat Drayton, I can probably take a lot of my Pokemon I already have, and it won't take me that long to actually play Kieran because I already have a ton of level 100 Pokemon. So it probably shouldn't be that hard. And then, you know, and then once we actually get the DLC, I already have, like, a lot of these characters I'm leveling up right now. Like, you know, I'm getting a lot, you guys are giving me a lot of great Pokemon that, like, a lot of people who are not content creators are not gonna be able to have access to, like, really rare Pokemon that you guys have traded me. So basically, because of that, I really feel like once I get that DLC started in Kitakami, I think it will go really fast. So so yeah, I'm not really concerned. Like, in my life, I am the kind of person that, you know, I see everyone else zooming. It's like the tortoise and the hare. I see everyone else zooming ahead of me, and here I am just plodding along, just kind of doing one thing at a time. And you know what? It works for me. Like, you know, if I try to rush every time somebody is rushing me, then I am just going to literally run in circles, stress myself out, make myself sick, make myself feel negative about everything. Instead, I'm just literally just trying to have fun with whatever's happening. So yeah, that's how I feel about life. Like, I think life is just too, you know, it's too crazy to worry about what everybody else is doing and how fast everyone else is going and how much better everyone else is than you. I just, you know, I just have to take one thing at a time. My whole thing, like, on this channel, like, so that's like why. So I mean, I think Luke would really like, I think he would love it because he always, because people always kind of, you know, it's the same with, like, anime characters and everything else, and real life girls and stuff like that. People always seem to be really nice to me, and then kind of, like, not mean, but, like, very, like, hey, Luke, how come you haven't gotten this up? How come you haven't done this? How come you haven't done this? So people seem to put a lot of pressure on guy YouTube creators and then be super overly nice to girl YouTube creators. So, like, if you guys really are, like, if you guys really are annoyed at how slow I'm going through it, I would say, like, please, like, tell Luke, like, how, because he would love to hear encouragement. I'm going to tell him today that people were kind of annoyed that I was going through it slowly, because you know, he needs to hear that he does a good job, you know, and he doesn't get to hear that a lot. People don't tell him that a lot. So, yeah, I'm gonna tell him. If you guys want to tell him too, that would be fine. Alright, so I'm gonna challenge as a group. Okay, so if anyone else wants to join this, feel free. Yeah, thank you, Ninetales. I appreciate that. You too, Ninetales. Thank you very much. Alright, so JPF1KQ. Alright, guys, if anyone wants to join, thank you for joining me, Isaac and Omerald and everyone else. Really appreciate that. Okay, JPF1KQ. Water, grass, and ice. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep my Pokemon. Okay, so we've got Rem, we have Isaac, and we have Omerald. So we have a ground type one. Check your Kitakami Pokédex, press X for your blueberry. Okay, thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. Okay, Pokédex. Okay, start raid battle. Alright, thanks, guys. Ground raid battle. Tim. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's like, many people don't realize that like, when I said that YouTube took, like, more than 30% to 60% of our income, I really did mean they took that much of our income. So that means instead of me being able to order out and then keep working all the time, I can't order out all this time because I don't have any extra cash to keep ordering out because YouTube has taken a huge percent of my income, and that's the first thing that goes. So my husband doesn't cook, you know, so there's only one person in this family that's going to be, my cats don't cook. So there's only one person in this family who's going to be able to go grocery shopping, plan meals, and cook, like, you know, family dinners so that we can actually survive, and then we can make content for you guys, and that's me. You know, I have to do all the cooking, I have to do all this extra stuff that I usually could just pay somebody else to do when I was doing better on YouTube. But because I'm not, it's, you know, I feel like I've had to work harder than anyone. Like, I know that Lucas had to work tremendously hard, but I've had to push myself at least, you know, 10 to 12 times more than usual since our income went down from YouTube for COPPA and the channel hacking and everything, because, you know, like that one day where I was like really very stressed about where my bacon was or whatever, or my stuff that I had made, I didn't have any relaxed time. There was no, it was just get up and go. It was like I had to, you know, I had to do a bunch of different errands. I had to get cat food, then I had to cook, then I had to, you know, I had to do a stream in the morning, then I had to cook, then I had to, it was like boom, 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 boom. It would be like if you had to go to your job like 4 times in a day, and, you know, there's no, I don't get to come home at 5 o'clock and then sleep after my job. I mean, a lot of people don't. Many people have an extra job after that. But I don't even get to come home at 8 and then sleep. It's like, you know, usually, like, if I have an extra bit of energy in me, I have to be on the stream. You know, a lot of the streams, like this week, I've been on streaming until 3 in the morning. Like, I think about 4 or 5 days this week I have been. So, you know, it's, when you're streaming till 3 in the morning, and then you get up and you have to, like, take care of your cats, and you have to take care of the entire house, you have to do the newsletter, you have to do all this other stuff. There's not a ton of time to grind Pokemon off stream. So, yeah, it's just, I just don't, I mean, if YouTube would pay me more, if they would pay me what, you know, what I used to be paid working on YouTube, I could probably get through this DLC a lot faster, but it's going to be a lot slower because I don't have a team of people helping me. So that's just going to be how it's going to have to be. And, you know, like, and I get, like, the internet isn't okay with that. They're frustrated. But, you know, I can only do what I can do. You know, I can't force myself. I can't make myself sick to try to do, like, I cannot rush through every game and then never sleep and then not cook anything for myself and not take care of myself. I can only go as fast as I can go. Alright. Thank you, Ninetales. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ninetales. Says, just remember, thank you, Diane, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Diane. And thank you, Ninetales, for the highlighted message. I mean, that's when, like, you know... Thank you, Diane. You're breathtaking. Says, longer videos and slower videos are better to listen in the background, like with a podcast while doing things. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Diane. And hi, Ninetales says, just remember that we'll always love you guys at the end of the day, and no matter what. Thank you, Ninetales. We love you too, and Kay the Anime Girl and all of you guys and girls. Thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. I mean, like, the videos that I will get through things quickly, like, what I would love to do in the future, if I could tell you guys what I would foresee in the future is, and what we used to do is do, and what I could do if views didn't matter, and being seen in the, I really, my husband and I have a difference of opinion about how to run the channel. Like, I talk to him, and I tell him, you know, like, I think we should do these kind of videos. And he's like, he'll explain to me, like, okay, well, I don't think that's going to work because that's not really going to be seen in the search engine. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of think we should. So, like, he and I talk about it all the time, like, what kind of videos we should do. And, you know, like, sometimes he agrees with me and he changes things. And sometimes he doesn't agree with me. And I still think I'm right. I still think, oh, I think this would work. But he's like, no, I'm going to schedule this, you know, this instead. So, you know, Luke and I, we have to kind of, like, we have to, like, you know, we have to kind of, like, discuss it, and we don't always agree on everything. And, you know, like, if I would do the channel how I wanted to, if I could do anything I wanted, I would do all of the story, like, if I would fight Drayton, or I would do, like, an important part in the plot, I would do that as an uploaded episode. And then all of these streams would be side stuff. All of these, like, stuff would just be Tera Raid stuff and online. So you could have a clear distinction between, like, you know, like, your story and everything else. But unfortunately, the real problem with that is because of the YouTube algorithm, it's not working. No one would ever see the story. They would only see the streams where you're just wandering around, and the story would never get seen. So, you know, the state of the channel, how it's in it, it's, you know, it's really frustrating. So it's, you know, there's nothing I can really do about it. So yeah, I mean, like, I really wish I could just upload episodes that are 20 minutes long and that have the story. And the best thing about, I was listening to Lego Batman 2, and that was one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done, because if you listen to my personality in that episode, in that playthrough, that was before I ever did anything on YouTube. I had never been exposed to YouTube at all. I was very chill in those episodes. I was not all hyper or anything. I was extremely chill. I was asking Luke just questions about Killer Croc and stuff while we were playing Lego Batman. I was super chill. I wasn't trying to be on camera or trying to be, like, you know, making people hyped up or anything. I was just literally just chilling. And that was my, like, default personality. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't super trying to hype anyone up or anything. I was just being myself. And I liked the fact that, you know, 11 years ago, I wasn't super, like, hyper or anything. I was just super chill. And that was one of my favorite playthroughs we did, because basically we didn't get paid for that playthrough. We had no idea we would have gotten paid for that. It was just a side project. And I kind of wish I could get Luke to look at our Let's Plays, like, and not care. I wish I could make Luke not see the numbers. Because I think we do the best playthroughs on things when it doesn't matter if we're getting paid or not. I think that's the best content we've ever done. But because there's so much pressure to get paid now, Luke cannot not look at it. And I try to not look at it. I really try to not look at the numbers. I try to just kind of be chill and just whatever and just kind of have a fun time. But it's very hard because you're kind of, I guess you would use the word, like, juxtaposition, or you're positioned next to all these other YouTubers that are like, hey, what's happening, gamers? Here we go, and today we're blah blah blah. Like, they're on so much coffee and caffeine, and they're just pushing all this stuff, and it's really hard to just enjoy your game and just do it normally. And I guess I've gotten to the point where like for Luke, the longer he's been on YouTube, the more he feels he has to push himself to make sure he gets those views. And the more longer I've been on YouTube, the longer I feel like I don't need to push myself. Because I don't care anymore. Because I know no matter what I do, it's the same results. It's the same result whether I act like myself or I push myself so hard that I make myself sick and I, try to get everyone to get excited about it. I've kind of come to the point where I just want to be myself. I just want to discover some new Pokemon and just kind of hang out and just kind of talk to people, find out what people like, and just meet new people. And I actually don't care anymore. I've gotten to the point where I care, but I care about people and meeting new people. I care about games and learning about new games, but I don't care about trying to be good enough and trying to make sure that I'm better than everyone else or as good as other YouTubers. I've actually stopped caring about it. And so, because I listened to my playthrough from 11 years ago, and I just really liked that person in that playthrough. I liked that personality. I liked myself back then a lot better than, some of my playthroughs where I listen to myself and I'm forcing myself to, be hyping everything up. And I just like Chill Amber better. I like that version of myself better. And so that's kind of what I decided. So I know that, I'm not as good as other YouTubers, or I'm not doing it as fast, or I don't know as much information. But you know what? I'm enjoying the game, and I'm meeting new people that also like Pokemon, and I'm having fun. I'm literally just having fun playing the game. And so that's what I've decided I'm going to do. So if Luke is pushing himself and making himself sick every night, trying to get these topic videos, and I really respect that. I know he's working hard, but I can't push myself that hard. I will die if I try to push myself that hard, and I can't. Somebody's got to make him baked potatoes and make sure that he gets make sure that he takes his medicine, or he usually takes his medicine, but somebody's got to make sure that I keep an eye on the cats, and that I make sure I send out holiday cards and just live life while he's running the rat race of YouTube. Somebody has to hold down the fort and try to be a normal human being while he's pushing himself beyond what's possible. So, yeah, I've decided after a long time I'm going to be a normal person. That's what I've decided. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, that one day when I was worried about the bacon, I was pushed so hard that day. I didn't get to relax. I didn't get to read anything. I didn't get to any downtime, even a few minutes of downtime. I was just stressed to the max. And I don't like myself when I'm that stressed out. It's not a good look for me. I'm running around trying to find some food that I made in the fridge, and people can hear me on the stream and I sound ridiculous. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to that. So I have to relax. You have to relax in life. You have to, because that's all. You can't push yourself 24/7. You just can't. If everyone else speeds ahead of you in life and you're not pushing yourself, then they're just gonna have to speed ahead in life, and maybe they'll accidentally swerve and fall off the edge of the road at some point because they're moving way too fast. You can't do that your whole life. It's not gonna be good. Alright, so we're gonna try another Tera Raid. But I still work really hard, I just get up and I do one, I'm literally in my mind, I'm just do one thing at a time, okay, let's see, I've got to do the newsletter, that's going to take me about an hour and a half or an hour. I've got to, possibly stream today at 2 or at 10. Let's see, I have to go, it's going to take me 40 minutes to go and get my cat food. I have to figure out and plan all the meals for, you know, my husband and myself. I have to find out how to like organize the entire downstairs. I have to clean up all this stuff that needs to be cleaned up. I have to figure out what's going on with the landlord. I have all this stuff coming at me, and it's like, I'm like, okay, Amber, let's just get a coffee and let's try to get our first stream done. All right, now I'm going to take, you know, 20 minutes and I'm going to try to get this newsletter done. And that's all I can do because, you know, working like, you know, working on a YouTube channel that has, you know, basically, you know, it needs a team of 50 people to work on it because it's, you know, the amount of content on the channel and the amount of content that, you know, people expect from the channel and people are used to seeing is more than 2 people can do. You know, K-Bro and some other people were filling in for a long time. We also had a guy that used to help us write all of our emails to developers. We don't have that guy anymore. Not because he didn't want to work for us, we couldn't pay him anymore because YouTube stopped paying us as much. So, you know, that's why I'm just taking it like one thing at a time. Sometimes I may plan to do 5 things in the day and I can get 3 of them done. And you know what? I'm not going to like beat myself up over it or like think I'm a terrible person. We're just going to do what we can do, you know? Alright, so, alright, so we've got steel over here. Alright, so, fighting ground and fire. Okay, so, if anyone wants to join, I'm gonna put the code in here. I'm just gonna do Mewtwo again. Okay, if you guys don't want to join, that's okay. It's a 3-star raid. 997Q1P. Thank you for renewing your membership, Crossover Dreamer. Really appreciate that. Yep, thank you, J-Dog. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, sorry for my long thing, but I feel a lot of pressure every day, but you know what? It's only, you can only let pressure get to you if you feel like pressure's on the outside, pressuring on you. Like, people are saying, you need to do this, 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 you need to do this. And you can hear everybody, or you can feel all this stuff. And you can only feel pressured and stressed if you allow it to come inside of yourself. You know? So if you give in to that and start rushing around and trying to get everything done, you know, then, you know, you're gonna number one, make yourself probably sick, because usually getting stressed out makes you sick. And number two, you know, you're gonna be feeling negative. Like, when you feel stressed, you're gonna feel negative. So if you feel negative, then, you know, like, you know, you might get mad at your cat or get mad at somebody you really love near you, and you didn't mean to get mad at them, but you just were feeling stressed out. So that's why I'm really trying to calm myself down and not worry about it. Yeah, sorry. It felt good to hear myself on that Lego Batman thing, because, like, Luke said, like, this is my lovely wife, and we're gonna be playing Lego Batman. And then I just paused for a minute, and I said, hi, everyone. And then, like, I didn't say anything else for a while. I just waited until I had something else to say. I didn't really talk the whole time. I didn't force myself to, like, hype up anything. I was just enjoying, I was just chilling, watching the game. I was just chilling. Like Nate does, just chilling there. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think I needed that. I needed to see Amber from the past and realize Amber from the past knew what was up. Amber from the past, she had it together. She knew what was happening. And she was completely fine, you know. And a lot of I think other people were playing that game, and they played it completely different. And we played it completely different than anyone else. And I like that. I like that. I really like that we didn't do it like everyone else. We just kind of played it. We just had fun playing it. I didn't worry about, like, right now I'm really tempted to go. I actually haven't watched any other YouTubers play this game. Like, I haven't watched anyone else play it. I looked to a couple, like, articles, like, from Games Radar and IGN, and, like, articles written about the game, to see, like, what I needed to do to unlock DLC, but I really haven't watched any really popular YouTubers, like, playing it. Because, you know what, it's just gonna put pressure on me, you know, like, I'm gonna start thinking, oh my gosh, like, this person is doing this so much better than me, and I'm gonna freak out. So, I already know I kind of suck at the game. I know that I'm not that great at it, but I'm just kind of just trying to just chill and just have fun playing it, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I don't really think I do suck at the game. I think I'm just playing it normally. I'm just like a casual gamer, basically. I don't think I suck, because if I say that, then anyone at my skill level would also be put down, and I don't want to do that. So I just really think that anyone should be able to pick up the game and enjoy it. It shouldn't just be for pro Pokemon players or people that know everything. People that are new to Pokemon should be able to pay for the DLC and enjoy it and try it out, even if you're not good at it. I think you should be allowed to do that and be happy with yourself and play through it, even if you're not doing it perfectly and you're just figuring it out. I think you should be allowed to just have fun playing it at your own pace. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, thank you guys for joining me, everyone. Really appreciate that. Sorry. So basically today, I thought I would be done with the DLC. But I thought I would be done with this stream, but, you know, it's possible that we are getting enough experience candy that we may actually, I may actually, get enough experience candy during this stream that I could actually, be able to find Drayton tomorrow. I mean, we are very close. Like, we are very close. We are very close on this one. What I'm probably going to do is, once I'm pretty close to fighting Drayton, I'm probably just going to go for it. And I'm probably going to tell you guys, like, oh, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll try to fight him. If we lose, then we'll just try it again. But I'm 90% sure that when we actually do fight Drayton, I think we are going to win. Because I already have some decently leveled up characters, so... yeah, I mean, like, that, I really wish that YouTubers would be, a lot of YouTubers have kind of become clones of each other, like, they watch they watch each other's playthroughs, and, you know, they see how the other person does it, and, you know, they just, you know, they kind of want to see, like, oh, this person is here, let's see if I can get there faster than them. And, you know, like, at some point, like, that's fine. Like, my husband is able to do that. He's able to, you know, do all the Arkham combat or, you know all the Nintendo news. And my husband's able to do that. You know, full disclosure, I grew up as more of a casual gamer. So, for me, I know no matter how hard I try, I can never do it that fast. I want to believe I can, but I really can't. I know my limitations. I just can't. I'm not as good at video games as that. So, you know, for me, I really like having fun. My favorite thing to do with the game is just enjoying the game. Enjoying the game and meeting people that are liking the game. You know, like, and, you know, that's just what I like to do. And, you know, so yeah. Hopefully next time we do Pokemon, like, when the next part of Pokemon comes in, Luke may or may not, like, if he has time, if Luke has time to do, like, the new DLC part of this game, he will probably get through a lot faster than me. He will probably spend, like, 9 hours grinding and getting like extra stuff and all this stuff and making sure and looking up all these guides and making sure he knows exactly what he's supposed to do, and then he'll just blast through it. But you know what? I don't know. You know, like, that's great for him, but like, I'm the one who has to kind of like, he's the one who kind of calls me up in the morning and says, you know, like, oh, I was up all night, you know, working on a video. Can you stream this morning? Can make sure we have views, or can you make sure to get the cats food, or can you make sure to pick up my medicine? So when Luke pushes himself so hard that he's, you know, I'm the one who has to kind of like go make sure that I take care of the house after that. So I've come to realize after many years that you know, my husband, being married, I wish I could do, if I could do a channel, I would do a channel on what it's like being married to a YouTuber, because although I am on YouTube and I am the co-host, I think my greater role is actually being married to a YouTuber, because my husband pushes himself much harder than I do on YouTube. And I think like like there's a lot of YouTubers, and there's a lot of YouTuber guys and women that married them that basically it doesn't work out, and I can almost tell it's not going to work out sometimes when we've actually talked to some of them that have, you know, told us like, oh, well, I don't like it when my husband's up to 4 in the morning, you know, recording or grinding in a game or streaming, or I don't like it how he doesn't sleep, or he's just, you know, basically just having, you know, coffee or soda, or, you know, just like, you know, whatever. My husband has cereal, so he doesn't really have a lot of coffee, but we have talked to a few YouTube couples, and I could tell already it wasn't gonna, like, I didn't think it wasn't gonna work out. I just thought there was gonna be problems, because when you have like, if your husband does anything, like, for instance, like, I see my husband's job kind of like a firefighter would be. Not that my husband fights fires, but he has that kind of schedule. Like, I had a friend whose dad was a firefighter when I was in high school, and her dad would hardly ever be home. He would be out at the firefighting place a lot, and you know, sometimes, you know, they sleep there, so, you know, they wouldn't be there, come home for days or whatever, and then when he did come home, he would just be sleeping in like a blacked out room and super exhausted. And so like his job was like his whole life. Like her dad's job was like his whole life. And that's kind of, and his schedule was all messed up, and there was no regular sleep schedule. Just like in YouTube, like, you kind of, when there's a news story, you have to kind of like be the first one to cover it. And, you know, and the mom in that family, she just, you know, she always made sure there was food in the fridge so he could get food out. And, you know, she was just trying to make a regular schedule for her kids so they could get to school and all that. And the dad was like kind of, you know, his schedule was really wonky, and it was just different every week. You never knew, because you don't really know when there's going to be a fire or emergency. And the same as you don't know when there's going to be an emergency Nintendo news story. So for me, I guess I feel like I kind of like model my life after that firefighter wife. That's how I see. Even though my husband is home all the time, and my husband says, "Oh, I'm home all the time." He's home, but he is home. But a lot of times, like during the day, when I'm up, he's sleeping because he was up all night working. So, you know, for me, you know, I just try to do. I am co-hosting the channel. I do help on the channel. My husband works extremely hard. He pushes himself extremely hard. And my main job is to take care of the house and make sure I have food in the fridge that he can get out of the fridge at 3 in the morning when he's working on a project. That's my main job. My secondary job is doing the afternoon streams. So yeah, for me, like, I know people are gonna be, they can tell the difference. Like, my husband is super passionate and everything, and for me, I'm just kind of chilling. I'm just kind of getting through the day because I am thinking about everything else I need to do. Picking up medicine for my cat and all this stuff. I have so many other things I have to do that I don't, you know, like, I don't want to say my job is my last priority, but my main job is getting food in the fridge, cooking it, making sure, you know, I'm checking on the bills, making sure I've got everything, you know, just checking on making sure the insurance is up to date and everything. That's all I can do. Somebody has to do that. If you're going days on end with about 3 hours of sleep and you're working overnight till 6 in the morning and you're pushing yourself beyond tired. My husband, when he goes to sleep, he's beyond exhausted. Like, he's so exhausted. Like, it's not, and it's probably the same for a lot of guys that work really late. But my husband is very exhausted when, you know, when it's like 6 in the morning and he's been working all night. He's very, 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 very tired. So, yeah, I just, you know, I don't know what my point is, but I just, you know, I wish I could if I could do my own channel, it would be like what it's like being married to a YouTuber, because, like, a lot of times when we used to talk to, like, we talked to a few times, like, a girl that was either dating or married to another YouTuber, and I could tell there was, like, a huge red flag when she would say something like, well, you know, it's unacceptable that he is, you know, up at 4 in the morning and, you know, working on his video. Like, I'm not okay with that. And she would, like, try to make rules about it. And I mean, I understand, like, if you want to make rules about it, that's fine. But in the long run, it's going to be really difficult, because doing YouTube as a job, it's going to be really hard to make a rule like that. Like, you cannot work at 4 in the morning, because every other YouTube channel is going to get that news, and they're going to try to get it up at 7 in the morning, and they have to work on the video for several hours. Your husband is probably going to need to be up at 4 in the morning working on it. You know, he's probably going to be up then, and you're going to have to just, like, you're going to have to deal with it. And I think, like, if your husband does a job that is not normal, you're going to have to get used to the fact that you can't dictate every part of his life. You're going to have to just be chill and not dictate everything going on. You know, like, maybe he's not going to be at every dinner at 5 p.m. every single day. You know, he may be like, thank you for making food, I'll eat this at 3 in the morning later. So, you know, you're probably gonna have to make, like, what do you call it? Compromises. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, if I would make a YouTube channel, I think I would be great at making a YouTube channel of what it's like to be a YouTuber's wife, because that's my main job. That's what I put on my Facebook. That's my main job, is wife. And then my secondary job is I also work part-time on Kwingsletsplays. But my main job is a wife. That's what I mainly do. And that's a lot. I mean, it's not like, oh, it's a lot because it's my husband. I feel like being a wife is a lot. It is an important job. People in this society try to make it like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you have someone to come home to, you know, make sure that, you know, to say, how was your day? And, you know, make sure there's food at home, and that, you know, the house looks decent or something, and, you know, just to be there for emotional support. People act like, oh, that doesn't really matter, but it actually really does. It is really important. I think it is really important. I think that people do need that. If you are a couple of two, and you are husband and wife, then you are a family of two people. You are a family, even if you don't have any kids or any other relatives living with you. You are your own family. And you know, if you are the person kind of like either a homemaker or mainly at home, and the other person is working more than you, then you are the person in charge of making your life almost like worth living. You're the one who's supposed to be there to make sure that you're there for moral support and to give love and encouragement and all kinds of support. So you're the support character in like an RPG. So yeah, or the healer. You're the healer and support character in the RPG. And then your husband can be the you know, the lead protagonist, but you can be the support and like the support and healer character combined into one. So that's kind of how I see it. All right. I'm gonna just like, okay, so I'm gonna actually get I'm going to try another Tera Raid here when I get a chance. Like, for instance, my mom, I grew up in a kind of bad neighborhood, and my mom did not allow, instead of, and I get people do, you know, people can do, I'm not, like, trying to say that my family's way of the only way of doing it, but, you know, my mom didn't really, you know, there was a lot of weird stuff happening in the world. Like, there was a lot of, you know, crazy stuff going on, and there always is. And, you know, there's a lot of bad, you know, there were not nice people in my neighborhood and stuff like that. And, you know, my mom really didn't want to ever have us be babysat by anyone. And so she used to work as a teacher, and she took time, and she basically took time and raised us and quit her job for a while to raise us kids. And during that time, like, I never had a babysitter. If someone needed to take care of me, my mom would be there. And my mom would do all kinds of things, you know, take us to Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, lessons, everything. And cooking at home. Like, I always had, even though my dad didn't have a lot of money, I would have, like, rice and some kind of vegetable and usually some kind of meat. I would have, like, the 3 food groups, basically. So yeah, like, my mom never felt, because basically somebody on our street, a babysitter, you know, came in and was babysitting the kids, and something bad happened with the babysitter. The babysitter ended up being a criminal, and it was really bad. So my mom never wanted to, you know, allow us to be in that position. She didn't feel it was safe, and so she always, you know, she didn't have to pay for a babysitter. She just stayed home and made sure she was always there and stuff. And, you know, a lot of people criticized my mom for that. And, you know, even I got frustrated because I thought, well, you know, like, I'm frustrated because I want to see, you know, like, in modern times, people always want to see, you know, women, like, you know, being an astronaut and all this stuff. But my mom didn't care about that. She literally didn't care. Her main priority was protecting, her kids. She didn't really care, you know. My mom, I didn't know this, but my mom actually worked as she worked in like a scientist in a pathology lab. Like, she did all this stuff that I had no idea she had done. She used to work, with my grandfather at the hospital. My mom used to do all kinds of different things for a job. She was like she used to teach like biology and stuff. So she did a lot of really cool things, but I never knew that growing up. I just knew my mom was just this person that was taking care of me and, you know, making sure everything was fine at home. So yeah, like, I think I changed my mind as I got older. I realized as I get older, like, you know, even though I don't have any kids, I do have someone to take care of. That's my husband. And I think it is important. Like, I think, you know, just taking care of your, you know, whoever your family is. If you live alone, like there's a YouTuber now that lives with just his mom, and, you know, like, it doesn't matter what family member or whoever you live with, like, being at home and taking care of people is a job. It actually is a real job. It really is. And it's an important job, to be completely honest. GJRG1. You would buy more Ultra Balls? Yeah, she was, I mean, she didn't really care that people, like, I mean, even when I was younger, you know, my mom used to tell me, like, there's lots of different jobs you can have. You can be, like, a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you can be this or that. And she was like, or you can be a homemaker. And I was like, what's a homemaker? My mom's like, well, a homemaker is, like, where you take care of the house and stuff. And I was like, well, I don't understand, like, you know, and they didn't really teach us that in school. That wasn't, like, considered a job, poison steel. Even though people do hire people to do the aspects of homemaking, such as cooking, like, some people hire maids to clean, everything, like, all of the things that a person does if they take care of their home. Okay, let me change my Pokemon. All of the things that you know, that is, you know, are actual real tasks that are actually really hard. But people kind of, like, make it like it's, you know, you look down on that. And I really think that's a really bad thing, you know, because a lot of cultures, like, besides the United States, like, in the United States, it's not like that, but in a lot of other cultures, in a lot of the parts of the world, it's just normal to have people stay at home and take care of, you know, you have your grandma staying home and cooking for everyone and taking care of people. It's just completely normal. I'm just gonna go with this. Hi, Emerald. It's just completely normal. But here in the United States, like, they, you know, they try to make, you know, whoever it is, like, you know, some people can be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad. They try to make them feel bad about staying home, but in reality, like, you know, if you have somebody cooking, like, really good food, soup, rice, you know, like, whatever, you know, good wholesome meals, so you're not eating, like, you know, whatever you get at the, you know, if you try to go out to eat or grab something quick that's like $1 and it's not very healthy for you. If you have someone cooking you healthy meals and, you know, just taking care of you at home, it really makes a huge difference, you know. So anyways, hi, Omerald. Thanks for joining me, Omerald. Really appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, someday I really hope that I will... What I really hope to do, if I can do anything I want, is I want to go back to school for music. I want to actually be in, like, a musical theater thing at night and work at night in like a play thing and basically work that way. But I also want to, you know, have time where I can just be somebody that helps take care of my home. Like, just have, like, a few hours a day where I can just, like, fold laundry and, you know, like, just, like, make the house look nice, think about, like, what kind of curtains I want, and make the house look cozy, and just make the house, like, a happy place to be. And that makes me really happy, honestly. I think that people need to be taken care of. You can't really have a family unless you have people taking, you know, you have your family members taking care of each other. And, you know, like, if everyone's rushing around and rushing to, like, their 7 different jobs, and, you know, you don't really have a home and a family feeling anymore. You know, like, I remember going to my grandparents' house, and my grandfather, like, built his house with his own 2 hands. He built it from wood, like he's a carpenter. So I just remember going to his house and it being really super chill, because he built his own house, so he didn't really have to pay a lot for it. So, I mean, he paid for the property, but he didn't pay for the house. He built it little by little. So basically, when I would go to my grandparents' house, it would be super chill, and like, I would go there and they would be making Venezuelan food, because my grandparents were in Venezuela for a long time. So they'd be making these things called arepas, which are like these really good cornmeal, like kind of like pockets of corn, like really fine cornmeal, and then you put like cheese or meat in it or anything, and it was really good. But they would just be casually just like, taking time to make good food, and like just hanging outside, going outside, and there was like a creek there and stuff. And I hope I can do that someday with my life. I hope I can, buy some land, or like, just like, I hope I don't have to pay too much for whatever property I have someday. And just kind of like, or just save up for it little by little, and by the time I get it, then I'm already paid it off. That's what I hope to do. Just pay off a nice place to live, and just spend a lot of time cooking and taking care of people. Hopefully have music playing, and just hanging out with family, or just doing nice things. I don't I do like working hard, and I like pushing myself, but I've seen, like, it's funny because I used to, guarantee you, when Luke wakes up, he's gonna talk to me only about work. He's just gonna talk, because that's what's on his mind. He's gonna talk to me about work, and, how many views are happening on the channel and everything. And I used to kind of think, like, oh my gosh, like, that used to, like, stress me out. So I used to think, oh my gosh, like, well, I guess I just need to focus on work, and I can't focus on trying to make sure the curtains look nice, or taking care of Luke and making sure he's eating right, or anything. I guess I just need to focus on work. And maybe he doesn't, like, a lot of times I would take time to organize, like, a certain area of the house, or make sure that he has, like, all his things that he needs. Like, go to the store and make sure he has, like, his juice that he likes, and make sure he has his yogurt he likes. And a lot of times Luke, probably because he has ADD, but also because he's focused on work, he won't notice it. Like, if I do something, he won't really notice. He might notice like 3 weeks later. And that used to really, like, bother me, but then I realized that it doesn't matter if he notices or not. Like, I think that's the whole thing about being, like, I guess a wife, or, just being any kind of homemaker, or taking care of, like, your family, is you get to the point where it doesn't matter. Like, someday I'm gonna have kids, and when I take time to tidy up my kids' room, and, wash all their sheets, and fold it, and make sure they have their correct pillowcases, and make sure they have all the ingredients they need for a balanced lunch, and I take time that I need to take care of my kids, I guarantee you they're not going to notice it. They're not going to. Like, I could spend hours a day working on reorganizing their room, and, thinking about planning ahead for Christmas on what they're going to get, and they won't notice it at all. They won't. But that's not what is going to give me fulfillment in life, is my family noticing what I'm doing. I'm doing it because it makes me feel happy to take care of other people. Because doing the right thing and doing something that you love, you don't have to have somebody notice it, For me, just the fact that I'm able to know, I can feel good in knowing that I'm taking care of people, and then, maybe a month later, people will notice it, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, you've been doing this whole time? That's amazing. I hope someday, like, I'll be, organizing all my kids' stuff, and then maybe a month later, or 6 months later, or maybe years later, I've heard stories of kids, calling their parents, like, 13 years later, when they have kids of their own, and they say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much work you did for me. Like, I finally realized all the stuff you did to take care of me. And I think that's what it's like taking care of people, really. That's what it's like to be like a wife or a mom. It doesn't really matter if people notice it or not. Like, it's not, that's not really about that. It's more like you're doing what, it just makes you, you know in your heart that you took care of people that day. Whether they see it or not, it doesn't actually matter, because you feel really, it's something you really feel really great about, you know? It's like if you saw a little animal in the woods on the way home and you saw a little bird and they didn't have any seed. You gave them some bird seed. Maybe nobody knew that you did that, but you did. And you knew that you gave that bird some bird seed, and it made you feel good the rest of the day. And so in that way, that's what it feels like being like a wife or a mom, I think, is, you know, you take care of people, and people may never notice it, but you know. And that actually makes, for me, it makes me feel very happy. And I know, like, today in modern society, that is like the opposite of what like women are supposed to feel like, but I don't actually care, because that's how I actually feel, and I think that there's no problem with that. Alright, if anyone wants to join, you guys can definitely join. It's X492ST. Hi, Pokey Potter. How's it going? Great to see you. And it's like your little secret, because then, like, months later or years later, someone will notice that you've been doing that for years. And then suddenly they'll be like, wow, and they'll give you like this huge hug, and it's a really great feeling. Alright guys, so we're gonna try Fighting Bug. I'm gonna go with this. Thank you for joining me, Omerald. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Alright. Okay, so it is 6:30, so I guess we're starting our other stream at 6:45. Alright, honey, I guess this will be my last Tera Raid. Is that what you want, or... Are you okay? Okay, well, I don't know what do you want me to do? Okay, you told me you wanted it to start at 7. I don't understand. So you want me to end within the 2 minutes, or you want me to end in 15 minutes? Okay. Alright, well, I don't know. So you want me to end within 5 minutes, then, is what you're saying?
If we start at 6:45.
Well, it is 6. Okay. Alright, so thank you so much, Omerald, for hanging out with me, and Isaac, I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for hanging out in the chat. Thanks for the 79 likes, guys and gals. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe someday I will make a channel called YouTuber. But I think, like, if I gave advice on, like, how to just be chill and let, like, I was gonna, like, be like, oh, so you're married to a YouTuber, now what? Here's how you deal with this. He's up till, you know, 5 or 7 in the morning working. Okay, you're just gonna have to let him be and just not, you know, not bother him, because he's working hard. And then I know that I would get so much backlash from it, because people would be like, they'd be like, yeah, no, you need to, like, you know, you need to tell your husband what to do, and I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna do that, because, you know, he's working really hard to take care of me. I'm not really gonna... Also, like, you know, if I tell my husband he can't work, then, how is he gonna get his job done? It's just gonna add more stress to his life than he already has. Alright, see you later, Tia. Thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate that. I don't know. I used a lot of them. Well, I made bacon. Give Glaceon and Ninetales ice cream. Okay, thank you, Sharon. Alright, so I will probably do a lot of, I'm gonna feed a lot of my Pokemon some experience candy off camera. So yeah. Alright, yep. Okay guys, and yep, and we'll be streaming Arkham in about 15 minutes, guys and gals, if you guys want to stay for that. So sorry for my long drawn out just talking, but I guess sometimes I need to do that. Well, I don't know, Emerald. I guess I messed this up. I'm sorry. I think I messed mine up. I think I messed it up. Well, maybe we can still do it. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Come on. We can do this. We did it! Oh my gosh. Alright, great job, Omar. Thank you. That's okay. Alright, so we've gotten a lot of experience candy, guys, and so next time I will, close call, says Omar. You caught Mandibuzz! Alright, great job, everyone. Thank you, Emerald. By everyone, I mean Emerald and 2 NPC players. So thank you so much, Emerald and Isaac and everyone for helping out the Tera Raids today. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out on the chat. Really appreciate that. And thanks for the tips and tricks, everybody. The bird looks like a Flintstone bird. Definitely Big Nate. Yep. Alright, guys. So thanks for the kind words. Thank you for the super chats. We had super chats from Diane and we got highlighted message from Ninetales and Crossover Dreamer renewed for membership. So thank you, Ninetales and Crossover Dreamer and Diane. Really appreciate that, guys. And thanks for all the kind words in the chat, everyone. So we'll see you guys. So we did get to, if you guys didn't see at the beginning of the stream, we did get the gift. You just, if you have, starting today, you can get the special Pika Berry gift. But to actually activate the new wave of DLC, which started today, you have to have beaten the Indigo disc and the Teal Mask and the main story. So I haven't done that, but we will do it within the next 2 weeks or so. It will have been beaten. Alright guys, thanks for all the help, and we'll see you guys in 15 minutes for the next stream. God bless. Happy gaming. See ya. Thanks for watching, everyone.